Thank you, Mr. President. Let me first start off by thanking our majority leader for starting off our session and prioritizing democracy, just as we did at the beginning of the last session. You know, I've heard a number of my colleagues talk about whether or not this is the time for us to be focusing on democracy, and I'd argue that there is no better time than today for us to be addressing this issue, given what we have seen happen in our country over the last week. Mr. President, I have, in preparation for debate, I brought the sum of our election law, and this is the book. It's long, it's complicated, it's dense. To most normal people, it's boring, but every word, every sentence, every paragraph, section, chapter is us trying to protect our democracy against tyranny. And yes, it is not perfect. Yes, we have to make changes to it. This majority is very comfortable making changes to it. We made about 60 of them last session. But when you see what happened in this country last week, it is a direct attack on that fundamental principle. That we can change the laws because we hold free and fair elections for people to decide who can change them. What we saw last week was an attack on that foundation. And while it may have been shocking, it should not have been surprising. When the President of the United States traffics in false allegations of election fraud, when members of his party encourage that sort of language, we should not be shocked when people believe what they say. Words matter. And just as our election law is built on words and sentences and phrases, so too our democracy can be undone with those very words. So we cannot cower in the face of this violence and insurrection. We must confront it with more democracy, not less. We will never, never buckle in the face of this violence. You give someone an inch of misinformation, and they take a mile of violence and insurrection. So I will not speak for any other legislative body, but just say that this Democratic majority will continue to fight for more democracy. We will not countenance misinformation and voter suppression. We will continue to fight. The Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis said the states, not the federal government, the states are the great laboratories of our democracy. And while New York has a long way to go, we will continue to do work in this laboratory so that every eligible voter can be a part of their democracy and truly enjoying their constitutional right to vote. I vote aye. Thank you.